Hello, welcome back to the first ever week of Redstone Rally V2. The server is back. We've got new players, basically new players, yeah. New stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to be going through a bit of what's in the new server today. But it's going to be mainly focused on the builds for this week's theme, which is Minigame Week, which is displayed in the right of the screen at all times, which is useful if you ever need to know which week it is. So, just quickly, here is the hub. You can switch between survival. You can switch between survival and spectator. We've got many redstone blocks and other certain stuff that's helpful for redstone builds. There's also a elytra in this server. And then you have these infinitely mineable blocks. I don't use these too much, but you can mine infinite blocks of any of these, and some of them are barrels, which you occasionally get kicked out of, but you can use these to grab many more items that you need. It is a server though, so these slime block launchers here, they can be quite buggy. Cool, that water splashing is loud, sorry. So let's get right, let's just start with the Minigame Week builds then. So if we go into Spectator to get a better view of things, or should I explore them in Survival? I'll do it in Survival for today, just because they are mini-games and I should be playing them. So, you know. I can't remember how many submissions for Minigame Week exactly we received, but I'll just go around the plots and see what people have built. So, Woofy Gamer 21, first of all. He built this shifting parkour course, which knocks you off occasionally. This one's quite a fun one. I helped a bit with this one. There's also certain secrets that you may see. But yeah, it's quite a fun parkour course he's made. He's used slime block launchers and other stuff. This got him, I think, a decent amount of elo. So elo is the skill ranking for the game. As you can see, of course it's hard to know who's on top. I'm up on there. It's a skill ranking. It will be quite inaccurate. It won't show who's the most skillful at the moment, so don't want to hurt anyone's feelings if they're nearest the top. But this one isn't very accurate at the moment, but after a few weeks and 5 or 6 builds, the numbers should be more accurate. For now, they just represent your first few builds, so they're not as accurate elo numbers. The elo is ultimately decided by me, but I am trying to be as fair and unbiased as possible. Next up, we have Bingobarno. Over on his channel, he shows this anvil dropping game. I won't spoil it for you, obviously. He got a good amount of elo for that as well. Next, we have DDN Tomb 3. Now, he has this parkour course he's built. This is actually quite hard if you just walk across. I'm not doing a very good job at selling this, but this is actually annoying to get. But I'm somehow getting it first try, so we'll just live with that. And then you have these things, so you'd use... Normally you'd have a bow, and what you do is you'd shoot these targets from up there, and the pistons would push down and make the jumps easier. Of course, I'm a parkour pro. I do not need such benefits. But, yeah. And finally, you have this bit where you hit a bullseye, TNT drops, and it lets you escape. Yeah, bit of a weird ending. Keeping with the explosive theme, here is some kind of gambling machine. But if you put an item in, okay, it's only working sometimes. Okay, in goes my diamond. There you go. That time it detected it. Oh, it spawns in a random number of creepers. It could be all the way up here, but I got a pretty high number then. But it will be a random number each time. With this machine I helped him design, which inputs a random number using shulker box and comparators. DDM Tomb 3 has some speed beacons, so we can get to where we want to be quite a bit quicker. Of course, there have been other builds, not just Minigame Week builds, especially in Woofy Gamer 21's case. He's built a lot of builds that weren't Minigame Week themed, which is partially why it has so much elo. Here we can see a fatal catastrophe. Now here's a picture of what it did look like before it was blown up, but this was able to launch the player a really long way. It would fire very far. It was a nice method of travel from Tsurugi. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, so that was one of the very notable builds. Of course, not being on theme, it can't get build of the week, but it might have. My builds won't be build of the week. That's a rule. So there's going to be a build of the week. Has to be one of the ones that was on theme. And it can't be my build, because that would just be unfair. Another thing I would like to showcase, even though it's, again, not Minigame Week themed, is this massive contraption. I don't know what it is, but it's for slime block launchers, and it gets Robert 65536 up to his. I mean, what on earth is this? I mean, actually. But it gets him up here. That's what this machine does, and the timings are really nice. Of course, it's not too complicated, obviously. It's just some torches and getting the timings right. But I still think it's a cool build nonetheless. However, your ranking is all about your redstone knowledge and how well you used redstone. The final result doesn't matter, even if it's a broken mess. I try and make sure that my builds aren't a broken mess. My build for this week was this game. So you have this arrow here. If I step on this pressure plate, it starts the game. So what this arrow does is it moves back and forth along the screen, and I can use these two buttons to move again. And if you hear that beeping noise, that means the arrow's caught up with me. It's a pretty unfair game, considering the arrow is way faster than the player. So I better get out of here quick, because the arrow will be chasing me. Yeah, so you use each button to go left and right. I know it's very difficult to, like, move your sort of mouse to aim the buttons. Sorry about that, but it works best with the type of redstone I'm doing. Yeah, the thing that took me a while was getting it to transition from one side of the screen to the other side when you reach the edge. That took a long time to get working. Maybe it's not very complicated for some, but I don't know. Getting it to move from the dead right of the screen to the dead left of the screen when you go through a screen transition, I don't know, it just took a while. But yeah. This, now you might wonder what's controlling the arrow. If I come up here, where is it? How can I gave my diamond to the goddamn gambling machine. You can use diamonds to like fly in this server. But I gave mine to the gambling machine, so there you go. So there's this chicken here stepping on pressure plates, occasionally dropping an egg. That's what actually controls the arrow. But it wouldn't move enough without this great fox moving back and forth. This was Sarugi's idea. So thank you very much. Yeah, I know it was short, but of course for the first week of the server, not much was built. Minigames is actually quite a difficult theme to build for. But we did get 4 submissions, which is fine. I'm happy with that. The builds are all very cool. I really like all of them. They're all quite fun mini-games as well. Except for mine. Maybe mine's a bit of annoying. Yeah, so overall this has been a good first week from the server. We've had a decent bit of activity. 7 players have logged on. 7? 7's right? Now I'm doubting myself. Yeah, 7. 7 players have logged on to the server, and all of them have built something to collect some elo. Of course, some more than others. One last thing before I announce the build of the week. Tsurugi did try and build a TNT minigame. It looked a bit one-sided, considering one person's trapped in a box and TNT's being dropped at them. But, yeah, I think you can guess what happened. Your clues are TNT minigame. I think that's all you need. But yeah, so that one isn't around anymore. But, good effort. Well, things are going to happen, aren't they? I mean, I am allowing TNT on the server, unlike last time. It's because I trust the people on this server to use TNT a bit more carefully. As long as it's in their plot, it's fine. I don't mind. Go on, but if there is any sort of griefing going on, that person just will be banned. There's not going to be any forgiveness. You're just getting banned. I mean, because we can't risk all these great builds being sort of wrecked by anyone. Guess we are risking it, but whatever. Now, without further ado, I shall say the build of the week. And that award is going to DDN Tombs 3's Parkour. I generally thought good understanding of hopper clocks in it. Very creative idea here. And again, another creative idea, shooting the targets. Of course, it's been done a million times, but this time it's quite different because it's making the jumps easier. Again, some comparator clocks here, which is pretty cool. This end bit actually broke because somebody hit the thing too many times and a TNT launched up and destroyed some of this. But still pretty good redstoning overall. And I just really liked sort of the creativity and ingenuity of this build. So it's getting build of the week. So well done to DDM Tomb 3. I don't have any rewards for this at the moment. If you have any ideas for rewards, please tell me about them. But yeah. One last thing I forgot to mention. Minigame week is obviously ending. You might be wondering what the new week theme is. And the new week is now Rail Week, the second week. I think Rail Week is very open because Your build just has to have rails in it, really. Of course, the rails have to play a critical role. You can't just put a rail somewhere. I will be excited to see what people come up with. I know Bingobarno's got something big planned, but nobody else has really been informed. I don't know what I'm doing, so this is going to be a very surprising week for me. That's all for this video. Hope to catch up on you next week. See ya. Bye.